What's up, everyone? Beast Mode back here with another video. So today I have something a little bit different, fun. For the most part, I'm not a huge fan of non-competitive decks. Probably won't cover many of them on the channel, but on stream Friday night, we had a player by the name of Atomiclunatic playing this alien build with other people just hanging out in the stream, and it actually looked very competitive. It didn't look very fun to play against. But when the combos worked, I think the deck could possibly top an event with bracket luck and the right person playing. I know Althea did manage to top the last chance qualifier with aliens, so I do think that there is potentially something going on with this deck that could actually elevate it to a higher tier than it already is. I do think it's a low tier deck, but I do think out of a lot of the lower tier decks, dinosaurs, Moki, Ojamas, all that, although Beast Beats, he has a YouTube channel, does have a pretty competitive Ojama deck. This here was eye-opening on stream. The match took about an hour. And I'm not sure if it was just because of the way the cards interacted. I think that's more or less what happened here. The deck can stall. If you're not familiar with aliens, obviously this is the best card in the deck, the Alien Ammonite. And the goal is to make Golgar, and essentially keep returning the face-up spell or trap cards that you have on the side of the field to put counters on your opponent's monsters or counters on the field, and then remove them to destroy cards. So let's see here. Let's read this card out loud because a lot of people probably haven't seen it. Once per turn, you can select any number of face-up spell or trap cards. So you would be selecting your Messenger of Peace, your Fiendish Chains that you've already activated and negated your opponent's effects, Gravity Bind, Royal Decree, the Ancient Code Ruins, and you return them back to your hand. And then you distribute 8 counters among monsters on the field equal to the number of cards returned. Once per turn, you can remove 2 8 counters from anywhere on the field to destroy 1 card your opponent's control. So essentially, you bring out the Golgar, return Messenger of Peace, Fiendish Chain, let's say, to your hand, distribute 8 counters. You put 2 8 counters on a monster on the field, so you can put them on the Golgar, and remove them to destroy an opponent's card. So you can just generate a lot of advantage with this deck. That's kind of the goal behind it. So it plays a lot of obnoxious cards like Messenger of Peace, Prohibition. You can essentially, Lunatic there, the player, was essentially dropping Messenger, Gravity Bind, had Royal Oppression on the field, and then would call Heavy Storm or Prohibition. And then when he was able to drop the Golgar, would return all 4 of those cards back to the hand, distribute 4 A counters, and then at the end of the turn was able to destroy one of the opponent's cards on the field. So if you can get the combo out, the deck is pretty much unbeatable once you start looping enough of the cards. It's like an auto lock, essentially. But the problem was, it did go through all 3 games. Game 1, the deck won really quickly. And, of course, you can catch the match on the stream if you watch the vlog Friday night. The first game was over pretty quickly because he was able to drop the Golgar and just lock the opponent down with Fiendish Chain, Gravity Bind, and they couldn't attack. They couldn't out the monster, and he was just looping. And then Game 2, we kind of saw the inconsistencies of the deck where other decks of the format just have way better power cards like Dark Arm. I think he was playing against Absolute Zero, Miracle Fusion, all that. And then Game 3 was really, really grindy, and he ended up losing on stream, but it was pretty much the only out left in the opponent's deck was Dark Arm, and it was the blowout card that essentially ended up winning her the game. It was the Ice Queen who was playing. So I do think that this deck probably has some potential. And again, I have not featured any decks that are not considered like A tier or S tier, but this here, I do think there is something that we could maybe do to improve it. It does have some cards, like this is an Offering to the Snake Deity, is essentially a Icarus attack, although not quite as good because it has to be a face-up reptile that you target with it. This card here, Planet Pollutant Virus, is really broken if it goes off. It's essentially like, it could be like a dark hole. Can destroy 5 cards, 5 monsters. If your opponent has a full board, can destroy them all. It's like a crush card, deck devastation virus, essentially. Prohibition, if used properly, can just be, it can shut down, like, for example, Hero Beat deck. If you call Alias and they don't have an out to this, they can never play because that's the main card of the whole deck. Turns off Spark, turns off the E calls. They just can't really play. So that really can stop Hero Beat itself, just Prohibition. Ancient Forest is kind of gimmicky. The magical planter is just there to kind of destroy face-up cards that you already used, and can destroy a Fiendish Chain, draw 2 cards after you already negated your opponent's card effect. So Imperial Iron Wall is pretty much one of the best trap cards right now that nobody plays. It stops every deck, right? Value can't remove, Zombies can't remove, Caius, Bottomless, Allure, you name it, this card pretty much stops it. So there are a lot of cards in here that are really good in the format. It's just how consistent can you make the deck? So again, this is a fun deck, more or less, that I do feel could be competitive if the right build comes into play. Maybe this is the right build, I don't know. And if you have some bracket luck and the right person piloting, again, Aliens have technically topped an event, so you take that for what it's worth. This card is just broken here. So got to find a way to really make this deck work and build around this deck, specifically this card rather, and this is probably the only card that does it. Obviously, DD Crow can just stop this card. So anyway, this is a fun deck. Check out the match on the vlog there, the stream, the live stream section. You can see it. I don't edit. It's towards the end of the stream. It was probably like an hour-long match. And I'm going to probably review my games from the 3v3 tournament that just took place yesterday. My team overall, I don't think we did very good. We won 1 or 2 rounds, and then we lost 2 in a row. Unfortunately, it's a team-based tournament, so no matter how good you do yourself, it's a team. You can only rely on your teammates, right? You have to be able to win 2 out of 3 matches. So I ended up going 2-1, and we weren't able to get it done. So I will cover the matches that I had, and again, we should be playing the BCS tournament this Friday or Saturday. I haven't confirmed yet what day. Hopefully, if it is on a Saturday, we'd start in the evening time and probably make it 32 players. So I'm going to talk that out with my teammates and the people that help me run the tournament and see what we can do. But if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Beast Mode Discord server, which is in the description. And I shall see you all in the next one.